So we are not going to learn anything about company. We are going to learn about a tool called PowerCenter that is developed by Informatica Corporation. Though the tool name is PowerCenter, okay, it was named as, it was called as Informatica simply. The reason behind that is when few things became very famous with something, so instead of the real name, it comes with the name whatever for which it was famous, right? For example, if you see Narayana Murthy, so his surname is something, but people used to call him as Infosys Narayana Murthy. All right. And also, if you look at the Telugu film lyrics writer Sitaram Shastri, his surname is something, but still he became famous with his songs for Sirivennela movie. So he became Sirivennela Sitaram Shastri. Right. So the similar way, Informatica is the company name, tool name is PowerCenter, but still today also, if you say I'm an Informatica developer, people refer that you are a PowerCenter developer. The reason is initially Informatica started its existence with a PowerCenter and PowerMart. There is two tools actually, but later the PowerMart merged into PowerCenter. And Informatica is famous for PowerCenter, and even the revenue also, majority of the revenue is coming from PowerCenter tool only, right? So you guys are going to learn PowerCenter as part of this training. So now our focus is what is PowerCenter, not on Informatica. Informatica is just a company. We don't do anything with the company. So the tool which we are going to plan is PowerCenter. Now, if you try to understand what is PowerCenter, Google will give you this option, this answer. Okay. So see, Informatica PowerCenter is an enterprise extract, transform, and load ETL tool used in building enterprise data warehouse. So what it is saying, PowerCenter is an ETL tool that is used to build enterprise data warehouse. Fine. Now we need to understand what is data warehouse. So again, if you try to understand what is a data warehouse, a data warehouse is also known as enterprise data warehouse, just terminology difference. Either you call it as data warehouse or enterprise data warehouse. It's a system used for reporting and data analysis and is considered as a core component of business intelligence. So data warehouse deals with business intelligence, right? So what is business intelligence? I'll give you a simple example for what is business intelligence. So business intelligence is all about understand what is happening in your business and planning to perform better in future, right? Which is very, very important. So every company has to understand what is happening and they have to plan for future. Okay, so the data warehouse is going to help the business management to understand what is happening in business and also will give a direction for future, right? So that's what is data warehouse. We'll see more about the data warehouse, like what it is and all those things. Now we have seen other word also like ETL. So now let us try to understand what is ETL. So in computing, so if you look at the computer terminology, extract, transform, load is a general procedure of copying data from one or more sources into a destination system. So here I could say your destination system is going to be your data warehouse in majority of the cases. So we are going to use this ETL process, extract, transform, and load. It is simply called as ETL. So this process is going to be performed to build data warehouse. So what data warehouse will do? It is going to help in business intelligence. Clear? Any questions so far? Okay. So simple business intelligence in the sense it is definitely a very vast subject, but to make you guys understand very easily, I can tell you simply like what is the data warehouse and ETL and PowerCenter, whatever we discussed so far with a simple example. If you guys look at festive seasons, especially Pongal, Diwali, these kind of occasions, Indian Railways will announce that we are going to run these many special trains from so-and-so station to so-and-so station. Let's say if you take Secunderabad, from Secunderabad to Tirupati, Secunderabad to Vizag, Secunderabad to Mumbai. So like for different destinations, they'll say that we are running these many special trains. Yes. Have you ever thought how Indian Railways takes a call? Like how many trains, I mean, on the number of trains that they needs to run between two stations, right? So they cannot randomly take a number. So definitely they should have some data in hand to announce that, okay, these are the number of trains we are going to run. So what they will do is they are going to take last 10 years data. Let's say if you consider Pongal. So approximately Pongal comes in January 14th or 15th or 13th. So these are the dates around. Now, okay, before that, let us take 10 days. So how many passengers traveled from Secunderabad to different destinations, the major stations? They'll take last 10 years data and they'll see how the growth is. So if the same thing continues next year, okay, these many passengers might travel. So to meet that demand, we need to run these many special trains between these two stations. So that is what a simple example for business intelligence. Now, the Indian Railways needs this 10 years data to understand, right? So they need this 10 years data to perform some analysis to understand the growth in number of passengers traveled from Secunderabad to different destinations from past 10 years. Okay, so that data is going to be provided by performing ETL process, and this data is going to be present in data warehouse. And from where this data will come, we are all going to book the tickets using IRCTC, or we will directly go to railway station and get the tickets, right? So all this tickets information is going to be the source for that business intelligence process. So we will take all this tickets booking information, we will process it, and we'll keep it into data warehouse. Now on data warehouse, Indian Railways management will do some analysis, and they will understand every year how many passengers is increasing, and if the same growth continues next year, how many passengers will travel, and depending on that, they'll make the arrangements to run the special trains. Okay, this is one very simple example for business intelligence. So if Indian Railways is able to run, sufficient special trains, then more number of passengers will travel, and then Indian Railways will get more revenue. If they are not able to perform proper analysis and they are not able to provide sufficient number of trains, the passengers will go through the alternative the transportation systems, then revenue is getting impacted for Indian Railways. And at the same time, let's say without proper analysis, if they are going to run more number of trains, then they have to run the trains empty again, which is going to impact their expenditures, right? So that is why business intelligence is very important. Any questions so far? Okay. Yes, anybody is having any question? Right. So now to understand these things better, we need to understand two words here. One is called Oltp. One is called OLAP. So the full form is for Oltp, it is online transaction process. OLAP stands for online analytical process. So the word analytical represents analysis. Here online transaction. So what is the meaning of transaction? So we need to understand this well. So transaction meaning is, if you go to a dictionary and search, this is what you will get. So when you have done anything with money, then that is called as a transaction simply. So we do many transactions every day. So morning we'll wake up, right? So we will start our day with, a bed coffee, or few people starts with brushing. So you need some material to prepare that coffee, or else if you want to go for brushing, you need toothbrush, toothpaste, tongue cleaner, all these things. So you may not purchase these things every day, but sometime you purchase those things outside by paying money. That is transaction. You'll take breakfast. So to prepare the breakfast, we will get grocery items by paying money. That is also transaction. After your breakfast is done, you'll get ready. So you need clothes, right? So they also you purchased somewhere from outside. That's also transaction. Then you'll take some transportation system and you'll reach to your office. If you have your own car or your own two-wheeler, you purchased it somewhere. So that is also transaction. And you pay money and you fill the fuel frequently. So every time when you paying money and getting the fuel, that is also transaction, right? So everywhere when you are paying money and getting some service or a product, that is called a transaction. Let's say you don't have your own vehicle, you'll use a public transportation. So you'll pay money and buy ticket. So that is also a transaction. So likewise, we do many transactions every day. So now why we are talking about these transactions? These are the one which is giving you the business intelligence. If we are not doing any transactions, there is no concept of business intelligence, data warehouse, ETL and all. These transactions is making all this stuff. Okay, so how this is happening? Let's try to understand. So we need to go back to our childhood for some time now. So I'm taking you guys back to 1990s. So like where we are 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And where we fairly remember our childhood days, like when mom or dad is going to a nearby shop to purchase something, we will also go along with them with a small hope. Okay, maybe I'll get a chocolate or biscuit or something to eat, right? So when you look at this, the way how the business was going on during that time, so we don't have these, hypermarkets, supermarkets, or e-commerce and all. So during that time, only thing is we are going to have a small shops which is located nearby home. And also the number of people visiting the store at a time to purchase a product is going to be very limited people, right? So 3-4 people or 1 or 2 people will be there. And within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we will purchase whatever we need and we will come back. And also during that time, we don't have the billing systems and all those things. If you're buying like 1 or 2 products, they'll just say that, okay, this is the amount, we will give the amount and we will come back. There's no concept of bill also. And when you purchase like 10-15 products where they are not able to just, pre-calculate and say without help of a paper or so, they'll write down on a paper what are all you purchased and they'll calculate the total with just in brain. They'll say that this is the total amount. You will pay and come back. That's it. Right? But over the time period, what happened was the purchase capability of customer increased. So the number of people visiting the store at a time was increased. So I'll give you a simple example for what is the meaning of purchase capability of a customer. I have completed my graduation in the year 2010. So during that time, if any student is having a sports bike like a Pulsar or Apache, so these are the 2 sports bikes we have at that time, then we feel like, okay, this guy is rich and the way they behave also is different. But nowadays, can you find any engineering student without having a bike or car? I mean, it's very tough. So when they got any engineering seat, and few people in intermediate itself, they'll say that, okay, I need a, bike or car, depending on the financial status. So this is an example for purchase capability of customer. That means people earning increased because of the reforms done by the governments and the employment opportunities increased. So earning capability of people increased, and when they're getting money, obviously they'll start spending back. So with that, this business also increased. So at certain point, the business people realized, okay, when they have 3-4 people hardly, okay, that's not a big deal for them to serve them. But when the more number of people is waiting in line, so the business people also in a confusion, like how we can serve them. Okay, and also the customers at the end, they also feel like, what is this here? How much time it will take? Okay, then few people might left. Okay, we will go to some other store and purchase. Let's say these people found like, okay, we need to wait half an hour here to get the service. And then let's say if they walk for another 10 minutes, they'll have another store there. Then what they'll do, rather than waiting for half an hour here, they'll go to that store and purchase whatever they want. Then this particular store is losing business, right? So this is what they understood. And they went to IT saying that, see, this is what is the kind of business we do. And so far we are handling everything manually. But recently what I found was like the number of customers visiting our business is increased. And whatever the existing manual process is there, it is becoming very tough to, serve more number of customers with that. So we need your support. Then IT said, don't worry, we'll give you a solution which is called Oltp system. This is what we have seen earlier in the earlier slide, online transaction processing systems. So what is this online transaction processing systems? Simple. Computer systems entered into business. Computer systems entered into business. So what these computer systems is doing in business? So whatever the day-to-day business operations is there, these computer systems made those day-to-day business operations quite faster and accurate also, right? They made the day-to-day business operations quite faster and also accurate, so that within very less amount of time, business is able to serve more number of customers. So obviously the chance of losing customers because of the time they are spending to serve the customer is reduced. So no customer will leave the business because within 5 minutes he'll get served. Earlier, wherever it is taking 30 minutes, now it is less than 5 minutes. Then obviously the customer is happy and they'll get service here itself and they'll leave. So business is happy, customer is also happy. Now I'll give you 4 examples for Oltp systems. So we'll try to understand how the things happened before the Oltp systems came into picture, and how the way business was doing after the Oltp systems came into picture. So try to understand these 4 examples here. So first one is your ATM machines. So your ATM machine is also an example for Oltp system. So if you guys remember, before ATM machines, if you want to get money from your bank account, the only option is you have to visit the nearby bank, and there is a form called withdrawal form. You have to fill that form and stand in line. And whenever your turn comes, they'll give you money. So you might need to wait for 5 minutes or 5 hours also, depending on number of customers is there for service before you. So at one point of time, even bank people realized that this is becoming a ridiculous process, like calculating money and giving to each customer. And that is becoming the major operation every day. then bank people approached IT. So then IT said like, okay, so the problem is you want to give money to customers. So many customers is coming to the bank, and every day the person who is going to give money to the customer, just imagine about that guy. He needs to keep on calculating the money, right? So then IT said, okay, we do one thing, we'll give you machines. Those machines will give money to customers. So for that, what you need to do is you need to give a card to the customer where each card is linking with the account, and with that card the customer can directly take money from those machines, and you can locate these machines in different places of the city. Just imagine how comfortable we are with ATM machines. Now we don't go anywhere, just a card is there, we'll go to nearby ATM and we'll take the money and come out. Next one is e-transactions, like where you are going to purchase things without money. Without money in the sense, I mean to say that hard cash. So earlier, let's say if you have any major shopping, like a marriage is there, so somebody wants to buy gold and all this stuff, like let's say 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, they need to carry. So there is no other option, they have to carry the money, right? And obviously it is not a secured thing. Like if somebody comes and, take off your cash, done, you lost the entire amount. So with e-transactions, what happened was you don't carry any cash. You'll just go and buy whatever you want. They are going to have a swiping machine where you'll just swipe your card and enter your PIN, done. Payment is done. So which is very secured. Even though somebody took your card, until and unless they know the, the PIN numbers and passwords, they cannot do anything with that card. Next, if you look at the travel domain, so you take it as air travel or Indian Railways or so bus travel, anything. Especially I would like to talk about Indian Railways. So when you look at the initial days, like when I know fairly, if you want to travel by train, you have to go to railway station and you buy a ticket. All right. And you don't know about the availability of the seats also. And even though it is a reservation, you have to go to the railway station and you have to book the tickets in advance. So there again, depending on the demand, if already more number of people is waiting for service, you have to stand behind them and you have to get your ticket. And if you lost your ticket, your journey is gone. That's it. You're not supposed to get into the train because you don't have any other proof, right? But after this OLTPs came into picture, computers entered into Indian Railways business, and we used to get the computerized tickets. So initially, again, we need to go to the station and we need to get the tickets, though there are computerized tickets. After a certain time, Indian Railways established reservation centers in multiple places where you can go and take the ticket. After a certain time, they launched IRCTC website. So where if you have a internet connection and a browser where you can log in and you can book the tickets. Later, they brought this IRCTC mobile app. So the only thing you need is internet connection with, a smartphone with internet connection. That's it. You can just book your ticket in fingertips. And obviously, if you look at the retail supermarkets, like DMart, a best example. If you go to DMart on Saturday, Sunday, you know how many people is there. And just imagine if you don't have the computerized billing systems, like manually the billing people needs to write down on a paper, like what are all you purchased, and they need to calculate the total with a calculator, right? So it will take hours to buy anything and come out. But with these computerized billing systems and all, our life becomes so easy. So even though there is more number of customers waiting, within maybe 15 minutes to half an hour, you can get your billing done and you can come out, right? And I'll try to give you a very recent example. If you remember the, the money demonetization, like the 500s and thousands at one point of time recently. You know, like how people struggled for money. So you have to go to the bank to get money and you have to wait in line. Then also they are going to give only 2,000 or 5,000 initially, right? So then as a solution, immediately the tech companies started working and they got the applications like Paytm, okay, Phone Pay, Google Pay, all these things, where these are going to directly link it with the bank account, and anywhere without any limitation of amount, you can easily pay from your mobile itself. And now that becomes even more frequent operation that was doing by any customer. Now banks are in a plan to reduce the number of ATMs because nobody is going to ATMs like earlier. So anything they purchase, everywhere we have these, you know, the digital payments, and everybody is using them, right? So this is how the OLTPs is going to make our lives more easy. Any questions here? You guys understood what is OLTP systems now?
Sir.
Yeah, so OLTP systems are very simple. These are designed to simplify the day-to-day business operations happening in a particular business. So it depends from business to business. Right now. So being a customer, see at a front end, what you feel, if you are booking a train ticket, you feel like, okay, I have a very good smartphone and I have IRCTC mobile app and I'm booking tickets done. But at the back end, your OLTP systems are not so simple. So this is what you see in front end, but at the back end, this is how your OLTP is. You'll have a computerized system or a mobile phone, whatever it is. At the back end, you'll have a database connected to this OLTP system, application. When you have done something using this application, this is going to be stored in your OLTP database. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say you have a bank account and your salary came and you purchase few things and all, but after 1 week or so, all of a sudden when you verify your balance, you feel like, okay, it's very low. Then you feel surprised, what happened? So I should have this much amount, but I could see only this much. Okay, let's go to the transactions and see. Immediately you'll open your transactions and you will see, right? So wherever I spend and all, maybe one of your friend asked you some amount and you transferred and you forgot it. When you look at that, then okay, you can realize, oh, okay, I given this amount to my friend. Okay, fine, it is clear now. If it is not going to store anywhere, whatever you're doing with the OLTPs, then you cannot see that previous transactions information, right? So when you're doing any bank transaction, that is going to be stored somewhere. That is how you're going to get your bank statements and all. Second example, you booked a ticket through IRCTC app and you get a message for sure. Let's say somehow you deleted that message. So that doesn't mean that you cannot travel. You can log in into your IRCTC account and still you can see all your bookings information, right? So that is where you have to understand that whatever you are doing, the transactions doing using OLTP systems is going to store somewhere that is called OLTP database. Okay, so when you say OLTP system, it is combination of OLTP application plus OLTP database. So these things together called as OLTP system. So applications is simple. These are web applications or mobile applications or websites, which is mostly developed using Java, .NET, or recent days Angular, this, that, and all. They'll design applications at the back end. They link it with the database where the transactions data is going to be captured. Right. So now OLTP system, in the sense you should understand there will be a database present which is going to capture your transactions data. And one more important point you have to remember here is, so any one of you is having IRCTC account using from last 5 years or old? Everybody started recently or what? How many, I mean, since how long you guys are using IRCTC, Swati?
3 years, since
3
from
years.
3 years.
Okay.
Yes,
Fine.
sir. 2 months back,
Oh, okay. We'll go for the 3 years example. Swati, if you log in into your IRCTC, you might have booked many tickets from within the 3 years time, but can you see all the tickets information in your transaction history, bookings history?
We need to sort the date.
No, you can select the date, but still,
Yes.
can you see all 3 years tickets information?
Yes.
No, you cannot. You log in and verify.
We'll try.
Okay, so I am using IRCTC from past 12 years or so. You cannot see all tickets information. There is a limit. I think you can see past 6 months or 1 year tickets data. That's it. Older than that, you cannot. The reason is, see, you booked a ticket, and for a ticket, you have different services. Let's say if you miss the train, or the train get cancelled or something, let's say your travel didn't happen, you have a process called TDR filing, saying that I haven't traveled, I need my money back. So that you can file within 3 months or so. After that, you cannot do that. So when you have such kind of limitations, let's say Swati traveled from one place to another place in the year 2018, let us say. So what Swati will do with the ticket now? You cannot do anything, right? So then that doesn't makes any sense to have your ticket information in your IRCTC system. So when any OLTP, what they do is, when they feel like, okay, beyond this particular time period, this data is not going to be useful for customers, they'll take it off. Even if you look at your bank accounts also, if you want to see the transactions history, to certain amount of time you can see, but beyond that you cannot see. If you want beyond that limit, you need to request banking system saying that, okay, I need bank statement belongs to so and so time period and all. So from this, what I'm trying to let you know, guys, is OLTP systems will store only limited amount of historical data. They don't store the whole years of historical data. So based on the nature of business, they'll store like 6 months to 2 years of data mostly in OLTP systems. They don't keep older than that data in OLTP systems, because that will impact the performance of OLTP systems. If more data is there, if they want to do anything, it will take a lot of time. But OLTP systems intention is to give fast and accurate service to customers, right? So they always keep the data which is very limited, and they'll design their OLTP systems also in such a way to handle that amount of data efficiently to provide fast and accurate service to customers. So now look at a business case. So after OLTP systems came, life became more easy. And with internet, the things got changed completely. There is no global boundaries. Anybody can do business anywhere. If you look at you guys, many of you might be using foreign brands, jeans, shirts, whatever. Okay, so which means that, and if you look at even our product, like if you look at the Paradise Biryani or something, across the globe, people is able to consume our products, which means that our business is operating there itself. So there is no global boundaries. And this is all because of the OLTP systems and the internet. So when the OLTP systems or internet is in, there is one particular business person. So who initially started his business in India? This is just a business use case I'm giving you to understand what is the purpose of data warehouse and also ETL process and all the stuff. So just try to focus on this. There is one person who started his business initially in India. So when he started business in India, he definitely needs a OLTP system. So he is having this application, plus he is using Oracle database to store the transactions data. And as the business is in India, currency is going to be there in rupees. So he started business in India and it is running fine. He felt like, very good, my story is always with full of customers and I'm generating more revenue. So when a business became success, what they'll do? They'll try to expand the business. So the same person started his business in US as well. So here also he needs a Oltp application plus database. So in US, he is using SQL Server as a database to store transactions data. Sir, there is no rule that a particular business should use same database everywhere to store transactions data. Based on the resource availability and business requirement, they can use any kind of database for Oltp storage. So in US, he is using SQL Server, and obviously the business happens in dollars. And after a certain time, he moved to UK as well. So there also he started business, and the database using is DB2 for transactions storage. And as it is a UK, the amount is going to be there in pounds, obviously. So all good, going on fine. So he is happy. But at one point of time, the business owner got few questions in mind. So what are the total sales happening in my business? And I'm offering multiple products to customers. So what are the 3 products which is generating highest profit, and what are the 3 products generating highest loss also? Because this should be a continuous process. So when a product is generating profit continuously, he needs to make sure that sufficient stock is available. Okay, and the quality is also maintaining well. Then only the customers will keep on buying this product. And when he is looking into products that is generating loss, if there is a particular product which is presenting in this top 3 loss generating products continuously, let's say from past 1 year or so, then there is no need of maintaining that product. In that place, if you are going to maintain another product, at least that will improve your profits, right? So this kind of analysis is very important in any business. Now, when business owner got these questions, he started looking into the data. But the problem is, some portion of data is in Oracle, some portion of data is there in SQL Server, some portion of data is there in DB2, and currency wise also we have rupees, dollars, and pounds. So it is very tough to consolidate this data, to integrate this data and understand what is happening. Then again, this business owner went to IT and explained, boss, earlier I said I have a problem and you given a beautiful solution, which is Oltp systems, due to which we are able to run our business very smoothly. But now we got a new problem, that is due to this your Oltps and internet, we spread it across the globe. Now we are not able to analyze our business data properly because different storage systems is there, different currencies is there. Then IT said, don't worry, earlier the problem is different and we given a proper solution for it. Now you want to understand your business, like what is happening. So what we do is, you forget about all these things. They're present in different locations, databases, currencies and all. You let us know what you want first. You want to see your data in rupees or dollars or pounds, right? So what we do is, we will design a new database for you. We will design a new database, and this is going to be very large in size. Now, whatever data you are expecting from all the locations, we will get the data and we'll keep it in this new database. Now, at any point of time, if you want to understand what is happening in your business, you just go to this new database and say, don't bother about your Oltp systems. And the new solution that we are going to give you, the new database which we are going to give you, is called as data warehouse. So in this data warehouse, the data whichever we are going to keep, that is pre-processed as per your business requirements, and it is ready to perform analysis. So you can easily just go there, you do whatever analysis you want to perform, you understand what is happening in your business, and you can take a decision what needs to be done to improve profits, right? So let's say top 3 loss making products. So these are pre-calculated and loaded in data warehouse. And if you want this from last 1 year, you can see last 1 year data. And you want to identify the product which is consistently presenting in this particular loss-making products, you can see that also. Then business owner said, awesome, awesome. So whatever I need, this is already available, and just I need to go and look at that and understand, right? But building of this data warehouse is not so simple. So to build this data warehouse, first we need to take the data from all these Oltp systems, because when the business owner wants to understand total sales, so who made the sales? Customers. So when customers came and made a sale, that information is going to be stored in Oltp database. So obviously for data warehouse, data is going to come from Oltp systems only. So we need to take data from all these Oltp systems. So the process of taking data from all these Oltp systems is called extraction. Extracting the data, taking the data out. So extraction. After taking the data out, we need to understand business requirements, and we need to modify this data as per business requirements. The process of modifying the data taken from Oltp systems as per business requirements is called a transform. Transform in the sense changing the data, form of the data. And once the data is converted as per the business requirements, it will be loaded into data warehouse. Loading in the sense we will keep the data into that new database, which is called data warehouse. So now if you see the process involved in the process involved in building data warehouse is extract, transform, and load. If you see the first character from each of this, extract E, transform T, load L. So this is ETL. So that means if you want to build a data warehouse, you need to implement a process called ETL process. And this ETL process we are going to implement on enterprise data. Millions of records will be there. So this is not at all possible to take the things manually. So that's why we need tools which can perform ETL process. We call them as ETL tools. Okay, depending on the types of source, the types of Oltp systems and amount of data to be loaded and all, people is going to select different ETL tools that is available in the market. We have number of ETL tools like Informatica PowerCenter, IBM Data Stage. One of our friend is already said like he's working on Data Stage, right? So IBM Data Stage is there, Ab initio is there, Talent is there, right? Oracle Warehouse Builder is there, SSIS packages is there, SAP BODS is there. So likewise, there is multiple vendors who is having their own ETL tools, right? But end of the day, business people is going to select a particular ETL tool by taking many things into consideration like budget, requirement, and all those things, right? And out of all available ETL tools in the market, Informatica PowerCenter is the tool which is occupying majority of the market space. The reason is because of its pricing and efficiency. Okay. Now you might ask me a question, how can you say that Informatica is the best ETL tool? You are an Informatica faculty, so you're saying that your tool is best. No, I'll give you something. So I will ask a simple question. Meanwhile, can you guys answer me? Let's say you want to buy a car or bike. You can directly go and buy from a nearby showroom, whichever is available. Hello?
Yes.
You'll directly go to nearby showroom and you buy a bike or car?
Yes.
Seriously? You don't do any analysis like, okay, what is the budget? And within this budget, what are the models available? Out of this, which model will give more fuel efficiency or the maintenance cost and all? You don't do all this analysis. You directly go and purchase whichever showroom is available.
No, we do the analysis before
we do the analysis. We do the analysis and then we'll take a decision, right?
Yes.
So the similar way, when a company wants to implement an ETL solution, they'll go and look at something called Gartner Magic Quadrant. There is something called Gartner Magic Quadrants. So this was designed by a company called Gartner. So what is a Gartner? So it's a technology research company. Gartner Inc. So you can see here, Gartner Inc. officially known as Gartner delivers action, objectives, insights, executives, their teams. Okay, it headquartered in the Stamford, Connecticut, United States. And it's a technology research company. All right. So what Gartner will do is they'll do research on all available technologies and they'll give ranking. So which is best? If you take the databases, which database is best? If you take, let's say, BA tools, which BA tool is best? If you take ETL tools, which ETL tool is best? Like that, they'll give ranking. So if you see here, this is the Gartner Magic Quadrant given for ETL tools 2020. So there are 4 areas: niche players, visionaries, leaders, and challengers. If you see, Informatica is positioned as number 1 in leaders. This is not just 1 year. From past 14 or 15 years continuously, Informatica is in number 1 position. If you want, you can go to Google and you can get the Gartner Magic Quadrant 2020, 2021 for data integration tools. Okay, so you can see this year wise. So you can find Informatica in the number 1 position every year. Okay, even if you go to Informatica site also, you can find it out. Okay, data integration in the sense combining the data. 2021. Okay, so they given many tools here. See, Informatica PowerCenter 4.5 rated with 342 ratings. So these ratings are given by users who is already using this Informatica PowerCenter tool. See, SSIS from Microsoft is 277 ratings, which is less rating than Informatica PowerCenter, right? So 5 trends. These are all recently came in. Okay, Oltp is also one tool which recently came. Okay, and Talent is already discussed with 109 ratings. AWS Glue, this is very tough, completely programming. Okay, so likewise, you can see the reviews and all, but the graph looks like this, where Informatica in number 1 position, and you can see this year-wise in Google. So from this, you can understand that, okay, Informatica is widely using in the market. Okay. Next, prerequisites. One of our friend, I think Swati asked this question, any prerequisites? I will say no prerequisites is required because Informatica is new to everyone. But the only thing is better if you can have some database knowledge, because we always dealing with the databases, right? So better if you can have some database knowledge. Even though you don't have database knowledge, don't worry. As part of the course, I will conduct 2 hours of database class, which will give you decent knowledge to understand your Informatica tool. This is free of cost. It's includes in your Informatica course itself. It's not a separate paid class. Okay, so that will make you comfortable with whatever the SQL knowledge that is required to learn Informatica comfortably. And Informatica is no code environment. So in engineering, you guys might have learned C at least. So there we've opened Notepad kind of thing and we will start writing the code. But in Informatica, you don't have any code. It's all UI based. This is how your Informatica tool looks like. So this is coding in Informatica. We don't write any code. This is the code. It's all about boxes and links. So it's all mouse based mostly. We use keyboard very less. Okay. So this is about prerequisites. Swati, you have any specific questions with respect to prerequisites?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is comfortable for everyone, even non-IT background people also, because you don't have programming stuff here. And what we are going to give as part of this training is, so beginner to advanced level training, soft copy of the material we will give, entry questions we will